Well, and hello and welcome back, everybody, to the last day of the Virtual Infineon Hackathon powered by EIT Manufacturing. My name is Markus Kleinfircher. I work for Infineon in the Department of Innovation Management, and I'm going to be guiding you through our final interview session today. As you know, hackathons are a great way to network, to create new concepts, to do some talent acquisitions for companies and corporates, and as well develop innovative products with the help of our participants. In the following session, while our jury is debating over the individual track winners, we are going to shine some light onto our teams and ask them how they experienced the past 48 hours of this virtual hackathon. So without further ado, let's get right into it. We have 4 people to interview today. First one being Aaron Kimming. Aaron, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, great. How are you doing?
I'm quite fine, but I'm also happy that it's over because it was quite amount of work.
Yeah, I can imagine. It has been some tough 48 hours lying past you, right?
Yes.
So what are you actually going to do in the time after the award ceremony? I can imagine like probably a good amount of sleep. What is on your agenda?
Yes, a good amount of sleep, but I was also thinking about to ignore the Corona rules and go outside and drink a beer outside.
That's a great idea. I'm going to do that as well afterwards. So Aaron, since I'm interviewing you on the hackathon, maybe some words to yourself. What is your background and which track did you choose on the hackathon and why?
Okay, short some words to me. I'm a web developer, but I'm also an artist. So I studied at the Academy of Fine Arts in Vienna. And my artworks are mainly always the interconnection between the digital world and some material world. So I already worked with EEG and machine learning to produce artworks. And this was quite interesting. And I also did already something that you speak to a microphone and then it's printing out what you said, but it's interpreted also. So it's somehow noisy words and something like that. And that's the reason why I choose the biosensing track, because I have already worked a little bit on other topics with it, but I was really interested to use new hardware there, because until now I just worked with fixed packages that you can put in your brain, and then I interpret the data, and now it was more hands on the hardware of this. So more low-level programming and everything like that.
So I can imagine it all went very well for you in the past 48 hours. Or what was your biggest challenge? I know you've pitched your idea before, but maybe for all our viewers who haven't been with us at the pitching session, maybe you could explain what your main challenge was.
Okay, our challenge was we're working on a plant interface. So you can see here in the back the plant, and we wanted to have some input if someone touches the plant and produce some generative audio. So the visitor or the person who's touching it has some feedback of the plant, because the plant can't give feedback, but we can give feedback with audio. And so one of the hardest part was to filter the noise out, because we get the data and then to actually get out what is interesting of it. Because yes, with muscles, or we heard it already, there's a lot of work done, and you know what to filter out, but with plants there's nearly no work done. So it's quite interesting to think of how what is actually interesting to process. Yes. So
Okay,
that was the hardest task.
very interesting approach I see here for your biosensing track. And maybe on a last note, what is your key takeaway from this virtual hackathon? What is the thing that you are going to profit from taking part in this hackathon?
Okay. I think participating in hackathons is quite interesting because it's a short amount of time and a team, and you can reach something in the short amount of time. Because if you work on other, or if I work on other projects, it takes weeks until it's getting results like that. Because I have to work also other stuff and to have the dense time to work on it. So this was quite nice to see that it works. And the other thing is that the board I was using, where I can program actually analog circuits on the board directly without using hardware components. I didn't thought this is possible, so it was quite interesting to have a drag and drop schematics on the computer and put it together to a working solution. So that was quite new for me.
All right, that is cool to hear. Yeah, well, thank you very much, Aaron, for your time and for participating in this hackathon. I'm wishing you all the best and good luck for the award ceremony later on. And I think we are ready to take in our next interviewee. It's going to be Dylan Alvandi. Dylan, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. How are you doing?
All right. All right, good.
Yeah.
So I suppose I introduce myself for a bit.
Yeah, sure.
My name is Dylan, and I'm currently studying at TU München. I'm currently studying computer science, and my team was consisted of 5 people who are also studying computer science and electrical engineering.
All right. So during your pitching, I've seen that there were several people in the room with you. So I guess you have all been working together in an analog way, right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, that's great to hear.
Nearby.
So yeah, you've been talking about your background, and we all knew or know since we've seen your pitch that you chose the sound track. So why did you actually choose it, and what was your biggest challenge or your main challenge in this one?
The audio track seemed like it was the best opportunity for us to learn more about machine learning, basically, since it was, essentially speaking, the most interesting field for us students, at least, and it offered the most chances to learn more things about hardware and machine learning and how these things are actually interconnected. And we also think that it's very interesting to study about how audio and machine learning can be connected due to our increasing dependency on machine learning these days to gather data.
Interesting. Okay. And so I've asked Aaron the same question before. What will your evening look like today? Are you going to have a beer with all your teammates, or what is the plan here? Or do you just go and get some sleep?
Possibly just maybe go out for a walk and you take a breather after 48 hours of intense coding.
Yeah.
And possibly get a lot of sleep tonight.
So did you actually get some sleep in the past 48 hours?
Well, I don't think you can call them sleeps even. I'll just call them a rest.
All right. Yeah, and also a last question for you. What is your takeaway from this hackathon for you and your team?
Our takeaway is that, interestingly enough, organizing code and working in an organized manner is very important, because at some points of the hackathon we were actually scrambling around to find the correct piece of code and where's the correct modules and stuff. We lost track of it, and yeah, it's a very key takeaway for me that organizing is very important.
I see. Okay. Well, that sums up our interview for today. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for participating in this hackathon. Good luck for the award ceremony. We will see each other later on. And yeah, enjoy your walk, your beer, and your sleep tonight. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Good. Next up, we have Dragan Sivkovic. Dragan, can you hear me?
Actually, I will present instead of Bitgir, instead of Dragan. My name is Dejan.
Ah, there we go. Okay.
I will be
All right.
the interview.
Great. Perfect. I think I just have a printing error here on my list. So Dejan, maybe you could elaborate a little bit about your background and what led you to this hackathon.
Yeah. Okay. So my name is Dejan, and I'm a CEO of the company Bitgear from Belgrade, Serbia. So we are not like a typical team, obviously, for this type of events, but we decided because we are Internet of Things innovators, and we also like a product development company. And this what we did in the last 3 days is actually what we are doing for a living, basically. And the idea was actually to learn how these chips from Infineon, how they work and what are their practical applications. So we decided to demonstrate the practicality of these applications through acquisition of the muscle contraction signals, which are not like a typical application for that development kit. So we had a little bit of fun. I was not really programming and working on this, but my team. So I slept in the last 48 hours. Maybe I don't look like I was sleeping very much, but it's for different reasons. So we had a little bit of fun, and it's very important because we are like this on and off mode from office, from home, and so on. So on. Every action which gathers us together in some kind of, let's say, disciplined way is beneficial for us at this moment. Sorry.
I see. So you are a very sophisticated and very professional team in that sense that you have your own company working exactly with that technology presented to you at the virtual hackathon. Exactly. And obviously you chose biosensing, and you also elaborated why. What was your actual proposal on this hackathon for all those who haven't seen your pitch, maybe?
Yes. So we demonstrated the usage of, let's say, EMG signals. So we set up the acquisition system. We tune it to acquire muscular contraction signals. And we created a small, let's say, demo, which, detects the events when you are, let's say, doing exercise. It detects the contractions of the muscles, and it's more like an end-to-end system for that type of application. That's what we were focused on, to make it like a work. And also we created just to give a sense of, let's say, some kind of sensory node or whatever. We also acquired the temperature and other signals and just pass it through to the mobile application. So the idea was, let's say, to create some nice, let's say, demo of EMG acquisition and where it can be applied.
Okay, congratulations on that one. And one final question for you as well. I also asked the other participants, what is your main takeaway from this event, from this virtual event?
Well, our main takeaway is actually because we are doing, actually we are working with all the modern chips and front ends and so on. So the takeaway is that we simply put an effort into understanding how this technology from Infineon works, and that's our takeaway. We now have that knowledge.
All right. Yeah, looking forward to maybe collaborate further with you in the future.
Yes, of course, and the takeaway is that we really had a little bit of fun because we really haven't participated in any similar type of event like this one. So we were really very focused and so on. So we created like a working actually system. That was our goal.
So you were also pioneering as all our other participants. Well, thank you very much, Dejan, for your time, for your participation. Good luck to you as well for your for the award ceremony later on. We'll see each other hopefully soon. And yeah, good luck and goodbye.
Looking forward. Thanks.
Thank you. All right, and last but not least, we have Sergey Kakov. I've spoken to Sergey in yesterday's interview as well. He's a very cool interview partner to have. So Sergey, can you hear me?
Sure. Hope the same for me.
All right, great. Sergey, how are you doing? How was the last 8 hours for you?
Tired. Yeah, honestly, we're kind of tired, but fine. We survive it, so that's the main thing.
All right, what is your plan for the next hours to do?
Well, actually, I have to clean up the mess I did in our apartment when I was searching for the parts and like soldering station, different things. So first I have to clean up and then sleep.
All right, that's a good plan. I got some question for you as well. How did you actually manage to stay productive in the past 48 hours? You said there is a lot of stuff lying around that you have to clean up now. So I think you've been super productive. Maybe elaborate on this a little bit further.
Yeah, the main thing there is kind of a mental preparation. Honestly, I would say, like before you start the hackathon, you kind of commit yourself that you next 24, 48 hours you are like in this task. So like there is nothing else exists. And even though I was like still in my apartment with my wife and still some kind of home stuff going around, but no, I try to detach myself as much as I can, and that's kind of keep the like to be immersed in this experience and then to try to continue. That also helps. We stay a lot online with Volodymyr and Georgi, our teammates. So it really also motivates. If one fades out and want to sleep, well, now you have to finish it. We are waiting for you and so on. So you have an extra kick, even if it's a virtual and if it's a voice, but still it helps. That's kind of things pushes you because you are not alone. And it's not something like, I'm tired, I go to sleep, I'll do it tomorrow. No, there's a team and there's a teamwork and you commit.
So you kept pushing each other very harshly, so to say.
Firmly, I was not harsh, but firm.
Okay, great. So at least you got some decent amount of sleep, hopefully. Yeah, so we all know from the pitching that you've chosen the biosensing track as well. Maybe you could elaborate a little bit further on what your biggest challenge was there.
The challenge was that, unlike Dejan, we are not the professionals in that area. So we are newcomers, and this last week was the kind of very first close up in the biosensing world. And of course, everybody knows EEG, ECG, and many people did it actually. So, but not many develop it. It's really completely different realm. And for us, let's say it was very, very like a huge package of knowledge on the biosensing itself, on the biochemical signals. And then on the PSOC family, so the former Cypress hardware, which was also completely new to us. So this was two main challenges we're willing to take. As I was already mentioned before, you learn a lot in very short time. So that's a really great opportunity to use it. So it's also, the event itself pushes us and we was pushing each other.
That's great to hear. Yep. And next question I wanted to ask is, what is your main takeaway from this hackathon? I've been asking this question all the participants to get a little bit of an overview on what or which focus all the teams had at this virtual hackathon. So maybe you can elaborate on what is your main takeaway on this.
Yeah, so it's all about people, and yeah, hardware is hard, but people are harder. So it's a thing to be online, to communicate as much as you can in this virtual environment. We stay completely virtual, so actually we live in different cities. So we was not meeting for this 48 hours. So I just hand over hardware on Saturday, and from that time we never meet again, just virtually. So that's, I think, the biggest takeaway, that this online work, it's, even though we were like for 1 year, we were already this online working style, but still it shows that you have to do a lot. You have to be prepared. You have to be kind of patient and careful in this environment. Like, yeah, it's very easy to get lost in this online communication. And I think it's maybe not obvious, but it is so. So if you will work for like 40 hours in very short time, in like a couple of days, with 2-3 people together, it really shows off. So you have to be committed, and that's the biggest takeaway. But of course, another thing, let's say it's on like personal level, we learn a lot of this biosensing. From nothing, you can say like from nothing, we jumped to the moon. And then, of course, then the Infineon, the former Cypress, but new Infineon stuff is really interesting. And that's something you have to follow up. So I'm really passionate about electronics and those things. And I really find out it's really a nice thing. So as Aaron already said, like they can program analog directly in the device. It's terrific. It's perfect.
Yeah, I'm very happy to hear that. And one final question for you as well. You've elaborated a little bit on what the benefits are for participants and everybody before you. Maybe you can also shine a light on the benefits from a corporate side. What do you think? How do corporates benefit from a hackathon like this?
I think it's a just single benefit, because first of all you find the people, and like people is the most important asset company has. So you see the talents, and many of the people are students here. So it's really nice that you can early on spot those guys who are interested in this technology with company like Infineon offers. So they are already there. I hope HR goes and grab them. Then another thing, you get new use cases. So it's always not enough to sell just a hardware like a sensor, like a radar or chip, whatever, microcontroller. So it's important to deliver the system. Like Infineon shows this product to system approach with many different solutions they already offered. But there's obviously much more. And the event like this shows you what is in the world around you. And those people with completely different background comes with unexpected application cases. And that's something you can put into portfolio and also steer the future product development. And last but not least, it's public image, of course, that companies which do these things, I think they are shining among the others which don't. So
I think
there's just the benefits.
There are some nice words for closing our interview session. My main takeaway from this conversation right here, I think, will be that hardware is hard, but people are harder. I think that is one thing I'm gonna take away here. So thank you very much, Sergey. Thank you for participating. Good luck to you as well for the award ceremony. And thanks to all our participants for their hard work in the past 2 days at this virtual hackathon powered by EIT Manufacturing. Congratulations to all your accomplishments. I think you can all be proud of yourselves. We are highly impressed with what you have come up in the past 48 hours, given the circumstances that we are all in. So we are looking forward to the upcoming award ceremony. And we hope that all your efforts will have paid off. And that's a wrap on today's interview session. As mentioned before, tune in at 5:30 again for the award ceremony and of this Infineon Virtual Hackathon powered by EIT Manufacturing. And that's it from my side. On a final note, I want to thank all the people who were involved in the making of this hackathon, and especially the core team of Infineon, of EIT Manufacturing, of the Technical University of Vienna, the MCI Innsbruck, etc., etc. It's been an amazing experience. I'm looking forward to cooperating with you again.